Hi, I'm April N, and this week's Flirt Magazine topics are sexting and long-distance relationships. We live in an age of technology where basically technology runs our life. There's no way around it. We take our phones everywhere we go. It's hard to meet someone who doesn't have a cell phone. How many of you guys actually have landlines at home? I do, but I'm probably the only person who does. I don't really use my landline at all. It's just kind of there. Because why would I do that when I have my cell phone that has all my contacts? It has an easy access, just sending them a quick text messages instead of actually calling and talking to them. And that's why it just becomes easier to text everything instead of talking on the phone. It's been a very long time since I've had a long conversation over the phone that wasn't for work or school or something like that. Everything is all about texting. And it's easier that way. It's easier to simply write a text message and send it. And most of it is because you can't see them and they can't see you. So especially if you're going to do something like sexting, it's so easy to just write it in a text message rather than saying it and trying to make your voice sound sexy and do all kinds of other things that maybe can make you uncomfortable. While sexting, you can be in your PJs and just send a text message and have the same effect as if you were talking. Because here's the thing. What they see is a picture, and this is the picture they'll see. In reality, you look like this. For a lot of people, myself included, it's embarrassing to dirty talk with it just in person. It's just really uncomfortable. It's just easier to write it. I mean, this is basically how fan fiction was born. It's so much easier to write things out and make them super explicit without having to say it out loud. Basically, this is how it is in person. So, nice shirt. This is how it is over texting. It's better. The only precaution that you have to take when it comes to sexting is to make sure that you are talking to a person that actually exists. Make sure that the person that you see in the picture or in the profile or whatever is actually the person that you're talking to. Anybody can take a picture and put it and say that they're them, and it's not really them. One of the ways that you can make sure that they're actually the person they say they are is Skype. With video messaging, there's no way to hide it. Whatever that comes up on the camera is really them. So it's a good way to verify that you're not talking to a creep. Skype is also one of the biggest reasons that long distance relationships work out. It's the fact that you can actually talk to someone who may be across the whole entire world and see them as if they're right in front of you. And Skype is a great invention for that. One of the things that keeps a long distance relationship alive is communication. If there is no communication, there is nothing. And it's hard. Everybody says long distance relationships don't work. That's not true. What doesn't work is the communication. There is not enough connection between you and that person to want to communicate. When you're having a long day, let's say you're a full-time student or you have a full-time job or both, or you have both of those things. You go to school and you have a job to attend to. It's hard to be, okay, well right now it is exactly 8 p.m. in Australia and it's early in the morning here, so this is the perfect time for us to talk, because it's hard to plan those things out. But if you have a true connection with that person, it's such very natural for you to do that. It'll be something that's like, oh, look at the time, now it's time to talk to my beloved who's all the way across the world. And it doesn't seem like you have to time it in. It's right, and you don't have an issue talking to them. It's something where hearing their voice or even getting a text message from them is the best feeling in the world. And that's when a long distance relationship works. And if you don't believe me, then go to the channel on YouTube called Kaylin and Lucy. They are a long distance couple one from Michigan, United States, and the other from the UK. And they have been together for a very long time. And they're going to be moving in together sometime this year, finally. And all the people that subscribe to them, myself included, we count down the days for them to meet up again. And it's such amazing that these two girls who live all the way across the world, and they're both going to universities. One of them is becoming a vet. The other one's becoming a filmmaker. Do you know how busy that is? And they always make time for each other. And their relationship is gold. So if you don't believe me, go watch their videos. They give you advice on long distance relationships. They know about it much more than I do. And believe me, if you after you see them, you still think that long distance relationships don't work, then sorry, dude.